Welcome to today's episode of How You're Getting Effed. I'm your host, Louis Rossmann. And today we're going to discuss one of many reasons that using streaming services, if to consume your media, is not a great way to consume your media in 2025. Back in the day, it was a really nice idea. You pay $10 or $30 a month, and you wind up getting an ad-free viewing experience where you're able to consume all different types of media. You no longer have to deal with NZBs. You no longer have to go to torrent sites or ShareReact or IRC, DDC.
I feel like Netflix was only good back in like 2018, maybe 2019, 2020. Of course, it was a good thing during the pandemic, but I felt like it was going the wrong way even then. That's just my opinion. But yeah, I definitely stopped watching Netflix somewhere around there, like maybe the end of the pandemic, 2021 into 2022, maybe. That's where I stopped, and I didn't really pick it up afterwards. I haven't been watching Netflix ever since. And every time I do, I regret it.
So whatever the hell else you were using in order to get your media, you could actually just pay for it like a normal person. You could have everything right there. You don't have to fuck with anything. You don't have to worry about, oh, this version I downloaded is corrupt, or I don't have enough part 2 files for this. Not enough seeders to get the ends of this. It's great until now. You have all these fracturing of different services where you have to have 4 or 6 different streaming services in order to get the media that you want. A lot of streaming services will pull certain things that you may have subscribed to them for.
This the problem with this is that it's almost like they're working together. Well, they're probably working together in order to maximize the gain for every single one. So Disney Plus has things that Netflix doesn't have, and Netflix has things that Disney doesn't have, and etc. And then there's like exclusives on each and every one. So imagine we had like 6 different consoles, and every single console had their own exclusive games. Like PlayStation had Bloodborne, Xbox had Starfield and stuff like that. And then the other ones would have like Final Fantasy, GTA. You know, that would fucking suck. Honestly, if that would happen, I think a lot of people would just go to PC. Honestly, PC is kind of like the pirating of the console. At least in my eyes, that's how it is. Yeah.
For you have streaming services that will not allow you to get the high resolution version of your content unless you watch it on a device that's kind of spyware. And now you have Disney and other streaming providers as well doing this thing where what you paid for an ad-free subscription plan, you paid extra for the ad-free subscription plan, and then they send you a notice that looks like this. We are clarifying that as we continue to increase the breadth and depth of the content we make available to you, circumstances may require that certain titles and types of content include ads, even in our no ads.
That was a good excuse to warm my coffee. Alright. That's fucking bullshit, dude. It's so fucking shitty. The reason why they do this is because ads give them so much money. We're talking ads give them more money than the subscriptions themselves. So if these companies were to decide, they would rather that you pick the low payment option with the ads rather than the premium option that cost triple.
And then when you read their agreement, service tiers with or without ads. We offer different Disney Plus and Hulu service tiers, some with advertisements and some predominantly without. Service tiers described as no ads or ad-free are generally free of commercial interruptions, with certain exceptions that may change from time to time. Every single shop says retail space available. Many of these places are still for lease today. You'll have a space that's about 2,000 to 3,000 square feet that's going for $75,000 a month. And you may wonder, how in God's name is that space vacant at $75K a month? Wouldn't they lower the price at some point? And the reality, as this expert had put it on Reddit, I can't believe I'm saying those words in the same sentence, but the reality is this very smart gentleman put it, and I've confirmed this with many other people who work in the industry, is that when you have a commercial mortgage-backed security, there are many different investors that may own this building. There are institutional investors, individual investors, people who may not even know that they own shares of this particular building because of how that investment, how that financial security or instrument, however the fuck you want to call it. When I think of instrument, I think of Godowski and the little violin at the beginning of volume 12, not a financial product, but you get the idea. But you have people that own this building that may not even know. So if you want to change the asking rent, by changing the asking rent, you're adjusting the valuation of the building. And to do that, you may be
Okay.
marking up or marking down somebody's investment. To do that, you have to get buy-in from many different groups. And it's very difficult to get buy-in from all these different groups to have all one building, one store, have its rental.
Okay.
So you wind up with a... To you, it may seem ridiculous that I can do 1-hour videos in one of the most densely populated cities in the world, going over all the empty vacant storefronts. But it's actually more sensible that they stay vacant than it is to contact hundreds or maybe thousands of people to get them all to come to a consensus on their investment being marked down so that this commercial real estate space can get rented to a flower shop or something.
I get that.
And this seems like a similar issue that you're having in streaming digital media. I completely understand that when you are trying to get every single piece of content on earth covered on one service for $10 to $20 a month, you have to wrangle together a lot of different companies. Many of these media companies have been purchased by media companies who've been purchased by media companies who they own the right to this and this person owns the right to that. And there's so much agreement that you have to come to in order to actually get working streaming service. And I understand that that's very, very difficult.
But what does that have to do with ads? What the hell does that have to do with ads? You know, they can just up the price. They can just increase the price and like, fuck ads, dude. Stop with the ads. Just increase the price until people get sick of you. That's it. You can do what you want, but the ads are unnecessary. You're paying for a certain thing. You are not supposed to change that for the worse. Okay? And if you change it for the better, then maybe increase the price if you want, but you should not go behind people's back. I mean, I know it's not going behind people's back, but it's still like, it's so shitty, dude. How is it legal to come into an agreement with people and making them subscribe, promising them certain things, and then you just go back on your promises? How is, like, I don't get it.
I feel for you. At the same time, this doesn't mean jack shit to me as a viewer. The same way that everything involved in getting that space to be a reasonable rent doesn't mean jack shit to the guy that wants to run his flower shop who does not have $75,000 a month to spend on the space. This is not my problem. If I paid for an ad-free service and now the content that is included in the service has advertisements, you can gargle my balls. That's what we call a you problem. That, you know, my old receptionist veneer, I had some of the best employees in the world. Like, a lot of the people that worked here, they worked here for a good 5 or 7 or 10 years before they went on to do other things, and some of them I still have after 7 or 8 years. Veneer was one of the best. She was from Kazakhstan, and she had a little bit of an accent. She would, every time some shit like this came up, she would always say something that I loved. It's like, sounds like a personal problem. And like, the way I'm never gonna be able to say it exactly the way that she said it. It was just with so much sass and finesse to it. It was like, it sounds like a personal problem. And that's what this is to me. Sounds like a personal fucking problem. I understand that there are limitations on streaming rights and you're trying to wrangle all this stuff together, but that sounds like a personal problem between all of you. I don't want to deal with your personal problems. That's not my business. I paid for an ad-free service, and when people pay for an ad-free service, they expect to not see fucking advertisements.
Exactly. It's not my problem that they have to increase prices or put ads in things. You should not do that because I already paid. I'm already paying for a certain thing. You are not allowed, or you should not be allowed to change that after the fact. Okay? These companies should be allowed to cancel your subscription because of changes, but they should not be able to just change it. There, changed it. Next month, all of a sudden there are ads and people are like, what the hell is going on? Because not everyone sees it. Like, not everyone is reading news about Netflix all the time. And maybe they get like a warning in the Netflix app. But I mean, still, it's just like, fuck off, Netflix. Fuck off.
You paid for a fucking ad-free experience. Who am I to toss in ads afterwards? I think it's considerably more egregious when it happens here because Disney as a company is, you know, doing slightly better in the net profit.
By the way, I'm taking Netflix as an example because they've done this before, and I've actually talked about that topic. But Disney doing it, I mean, who would have thought, you know? Who would have thought?
There's a video that I did that got quite a bit of pushback a year and a half ago. Piracy is completely justified. Lewis tries Netflix and remembers why. Where apparently I'm supposed to make myself aware of the half a dozen different restrictions on being able to stream 4K video that are not mentioned once on their fucking website.
Right.
But if I pirate, I get full resolution for free. I have never, in 27 years of being on the internet, seen an advertisement in something that I downloaded as an AVI file or a Matroska file or something. There's one time that I think Dimension left in like a 2 or 3 second clip of a commercial, and they wound up getting propered by CTU. But you don't see ads ever. You don't have to deal with this. This is their personal problem. Yeah. It's not yours. You're not crazy. You paid to not see ads. They put ads into it. Exactly. Block the ads. I went over this in the hierarchy of piracy in this manual that I did over here. By the way, I realized that I accidentally changed the theme from Vector 2022 back to Vector, which is why the table of contents was gone. But look, you have a table of contents again. See? You wanted a table of contents, you got a table of contents. Isn't it beautiful? This is Rossmann's hierarchy of piracy over here. You have degraded physical media with no replacement available, degraded physical media replacement available, lost digital purchase, no repurchase option, lost digital purchase, repurchase available. The purchase that wasn't. You purchased digital media, but the company said, fuck you. Bait and switch streaming service. You paid for a streaming service, advertised with certain content, the content was removed and no refund option. Rental versus purchase confusion, the 4K lockout, DRM workarounds, and this is going to be somewhere in the realm of bait and switch streaming, which is you paid for an ad-free experience and they put ads into it anyway. This is different than I refuse to pay for shit even though I have the money for it. These are very different things. I don't like that in many scenarios the same word gets used to describe people that are totally reasonable and people that would never pay for anything or ever support an artist ever just because they want to be dicks. I think the entertainment industry, as well as the entire streaming services industry, gives people more reason to sail the high seas every single day and be guilt-free doing so.
Exactly.
I like supporting artists that I enjoy. I have a Tori Amos box set. I've bought the DVD and Blu-ray copy of the 1992 Live at Montreal concert. Red dress and blue dress one. I draw the line when I pay for an ad-free experience and you shove ads in anyway.
Imagine you ask for a cheeseburger and you say, no pickles, please. Like, you're a picky guy, whatever, nobody cares. Just, please, no pickles. And you're still paying for the whole thing, but just no pickles. And they come back, there are extra pickles in it. Every fucking time. And you're like, bro, please, I asked for no pickles. I'm ready to pay more for no pickles. They're like, okay, cool. Pay more for no pickles. They come back. Half the time, pickles. It was like, what the fuck? It's such a big fuck you, we don't care about the consumers. That's what it is. Is this kitty ASMR? That was a good video. I like this. I don't know why I'm not subscribed. Just reported you for promoting crime. Funny thing is that all these streaming services are doing exactly what drove people away from cable TV in the first place. Yeah, I mean, here's the thing. This is not a new concept. Most companies do this. For example, I think it was Uber. Yeah, it was definitely Uber. Taxi. Yeah, Uber. So it was much more affordable in the beginning, but then suddenly it was like the one that pays highest gets the Uber, and premium prices get like better cars. But those cars were actually just standard in the beginning. So what happens is that the people that pay the least, they just get a shitty ass car and shitty ass taxi drivers, and this is the reality. It happens in almost all companies at some point. Like, look at Nvidia. When the 1080 or 1060, either one of those, when they came out, it was crazy. Talking about like 80% increased performance, and then back to back like 20-30% increased performance year over year. And then suddenly now it's just like 7% increase, 5% increase, or none at all, just AI frames. And we're paying premium price or above premium price for that. And that's just the reality of it now. Nvidia has become what people hate, in my opinion. It's kind of natural, in my opinion. Like it happens so frequently that it's almost more natural that it happens than not. Netflix, Disney, Amazon Prime, Twitch, YouTube, all of them have so many ads and so many things that people do not like, and they're making the experience so bad. They don't realize how bad it actually is for them, or maybe they do. Maybe it's worth it, but I mean, like my dad, he used to watch YouTube all the time, but now he never does because he has to watch these ads, and I tell him like, Dad, I can download an ad blocker, but he's kind of old school. He doesn't trust that. He's like, no, I'd rather not watch YouTube at all. Okay, to each his own, you know. And I think a lot of people do that. I think a lot of people just quit. But maybe it's worth it for them. I don't know. Probably is. My mom and dad, they have like a lot of subscriptions, and I've been telling them, you know, Mom, Dad, you gotta stop paying for at least one of these because I know for a fact they're not using all of them. And they're like, yeah. And they've been increasing the prices on Netflix and Disney Plus. And I'm like, yeah, do you guys watch Netflix? Yeah. Okay. Do you watch Disney? No, not really. Then stop paying for Disney because they're about to increase the price even further, and it's not gonna get better. It just isn't. So they did. They canceled the subscription for Disney Plus because they were worried that I wasn't gonna be able to watch things, and I'm like, you know, I'm not watching any of it. Like I have access to all of it, but I'm not watching any of it because because I'm the kind of person that can hold a grudge forever, and I can boycott forever. So for example, I used to buy Pringles back in the day because it was affordable and I thought it was worth it for the price. But now it has actually gone up by 50% in the last like 6 months, 1 year. Like last year it went up 50% in like 6 months. To me, nothing justifies that. You know, not even inflation. Nothing justifies 50% increase. And the same with McDonald's and all of these things. Like they increase their prices by at least 50%. And I've been looking at them and I've been analyzing them, so I know for a fact how much they've increased their prices. Many of the items that were the most popular have gone up 50%. And that is why I'm boycotting these two companies, at least these two, or these two products. And I am very good at it. And I do not miss them. I do not want to see them. And the same with Netflix. I can watch Netflix whenever I want, but I do not watch it because I just do not want to. I hate Netflix. I hate Disney Plus. I hate Amazon Prime. I hate them. Everything that is consumer unfriendly, everything that leaves a bad taste in my mouth, I never want to see again. That's why I switched from PlayStation to PC last year, because I just had enough. For years, ever since PS3 or like mid PS3, I've been paying for subscriptions. I am sick of it, dude. So sick of it. So fuck these companies. And all these gaming companies too, man. Fuck them all. Just pirate it all. Don't give a shit about the companies. If they go under, who cares? They've made their billions. Yeah. What do you guys think? Do you think I'm being way too dramatic? I mean, I am very passionate about this, but I might be a little bit too dramatic. Anyways, what are your thoughts? Leave them down in the comments below. And if you enjoyed this video, then please like and subscribe. And I'll see you in the next one. Goodbye, guys.